We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Miami Dolphins. It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. T.J. Watt, the all-pro, in there to take him down. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to him.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It is one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Porter. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Porter. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A give running right, Gibson. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's a give to Gibson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the 50, it's Watson. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And unable to connect. Incomplete. They'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Washington going to send out their punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Throwing on 1st down, Porter. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Washington on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Watson. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. A handoff running left is Gibson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A handoff for Gibson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Watson off play action. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Porter. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Washington on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Watson now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Porter. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 1st down, Watson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. In front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Porter. He's got Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and 2, Porter. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They find some open field here. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 54 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Gardner. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. carry for Gibson. And he gets it down to the 32.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Gibson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, it's Gibson, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Out of the gun, Watson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he fields it cleanly. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Porter. Here's Fuller with a catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Room here to run. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Porter. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. Escapes the defender. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Salvon Ahmed with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 70 yards on the ground for him so far. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He finds his man complete. It's Gardner. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd and 7. To throw is Watson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw. Watson. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said,
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And some space here. It's a big play there for Miami. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here. Now Brown, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Following the fumble recovery, Watson flushed out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Gardner. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Watson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Back to throw, Watson. That's caught by Sims. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
From the gun, here's Watson. The quick slant caught. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working with it.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is down to 24. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the fourth.
No, not at all, and they're trying to get something going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Dolphins, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.